One two one two one two. What's going on? It's your boy Jason Mass. Jason Mass playing music. Another music review of one of my top five favorite albums of all time. This time it is Disintegration by The Cure, 1989. Um, let's see. What's my personal history with The Cure? I got familiar with The Cure in about 1983 when I saw The Walk, um, the video for The Walk on MTV. That was about the first time I'd ever heard The Cure, and I was a fan from that point on, and became obsessed with them by the time you get to about 86 or so, with the Standing on the Beach cassette. The cassette that had like 25 tracks on it. All the A sides on side one, all the B sides on side two. That's like a cornerstone of my high school era. But anyway, about Disintegration comes out a few years later, 1989. By this time, I would have been about a sophomore in high school, I think, freshman, sophomore, somewhere right in there, and just one of my favorite records, top five records of all time, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to take this album apart track by track, and we're going to go from there. Let's see. What I noticed about a lot of the synth parts on this record, it sounds like very like funeral organs, which is right in line with the aesthetic of The Cure when they go into their more gothic, quote unquote, direction. And The Cure kind of they work in two speeds. The gothic speed and the more throwaway pop music speed. But it's always The Cure, and I like both sides equally, but for different reasons. But it seems to be that their most consistent records tended to kind of lean more on the goth side, in my opinion. That's what my ear tells me, and we'll go ahead and get off into it. Let's start with Plainsong. Layers and layers of synths, and the synthesizer parts, swell to the point of totally consuming and filling up the track, make the track feel very full. Um, and the guitar parts, not on just Plainsong, but throughout various songs on the album, always sounds like to me like the beach at night, and it has a very kind of oceanic quality about it, which I believe kind of inadvertently the oceanic quality that a lot of the music on this particular album had, it kind of inadvertently may have influenced the shoegaze scene to a certain extent. But yeah, and it's it's a very beautiful yet mournful track. I would give it a 9 out of 10. And how I do my reviews, usually I do everything on a scale of 1 to 10. And yeah, a solid 9 track right here in Plainsong. That goes into Pictures of You, which was released as their fourth single, I believe. And in comparison to Plainsong, this is a more upbeat track, also a 9 track. This is about as pop as it got on Disintegration, as accessible as it got. After Plainsong, we go into the first perfect track on the album, which is entitled Close Down. And it's, again, that the guitar riff and guitar parts in this song, as well as other tracks on the album, has that nighttime at the beach feel. So that's the imagery that comes in my mind when I hear it. It has that feel to it. Yeah, the first perfect track of a damn near perfect album. Then we go into Love Song. Love Song was a wedding gift from Robert Smith to his wife, his now wife, Mary. Perfect wedding gift, if I may say so myself, perfect song. and it's always cool, you know, lyrically when you listen to it and it has the slight word changes. Like, whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm whole again. Um, Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm young again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I'm fun again. Just romantic beyond belief. Great, perfect track. One of the Cure's best known songs. It was a one of their bigger crossover hits. Um, Great song, perfect song. The streak of perfect music continues. We get into Last Dance. You know, still in that theme of heavy, romantic, love longing type melancholy energy right there. It's another great song. And it continues, the perfect streak goes further with Lullaby, which is a kind of eerie, kind of creepy kind of song about being eaten by the Spider Man. The Spider Man is having you for dinner tonight. And string section in this song, incredible. Just I've always loved the strings in the song Lullaby. And that was released as the third single. And I always loved, you know, the lyrics in there, you know, don't struggle like that, I'll only want you more. You know, again, the Spider-Man is having you for dinner tonight. Great. Then we had the first single, Fascination Street. Uh, Another perfect track. Great track. For me, it was all about the bass line. You know, that bass line is just deadly in that song. I always liked that bass line in Fascination Street. Then we have Prayers for Rain. Just a very a soaring string section. And it sounds like nighttime and rain, you know, hitting the your window pane. I would give it a 9 out of 10 for me. And the remainder of the record is perfect tens, perfect music. I can't see anything in the remainder of the record that I would even think to change. Um, After Prayers for Rain, you have the track Same Deep Water as You. Just lovely, beautiful. A kind of fatalistic romance in this song that just it gets me every time I listen to it. And, you know, I still listen to it very often. That's the longest track on the album. And one thing about Disintegration is it's 70 minutes long, but anytime I listen to it, it feels so much shorter because it's, you know, it has that same effect as Brian Eno's Another Green World, where you feel like a lifetime goes, you experience a lifetime within the framework of the time of this record. Disintegration is very similar in that respect. It plays with time, and it's, I know that they couldn't have done that knowingly, but anyway, yeah, that's another perfect track, which goes into the 10th track, the title track, Disintegration. Um, Something I noticed on many Cure albums, they'll have a song on there that's kind of like their Wild Out song, where they just, or Robert Smith just pours everything out lyrically, and he's like he's emptying everything that's in itself in you know, in that given track. And on this album, Disintegration, it's the song Disintegration that, you know, has that quality about it. It it's it just goes on and on and on about, you know, just the breakdown of a relationship, and ends with the just wonderfully fatalistic line, "We both knew how the end always is," and it sounds like a breakup to me. Um, yeah, but like on several Cure albums, they'll have a track like that, um, where he just pours everything out lyrically. Perfect track, another one. Then we go into the 11th track entitled Homesick. A very painful and mournful piano driven piece. And it almost has a militaristic drum track, you know, like a toy soldier type of drum or something like that. Very sorrowful strings, very mournful strings. And in this track, Robert Smith sounds emotionally exhausted, almost defeated. And that lyric, inspiring me, the desire in me to never go home. It hurts. That song hurts. Love it. Perfect track, Homesick. Then it ends with Untitled, with a kind of almost toy organ on the intro and the outro of the song. And it sounds to me lyrically almost like an apology or some sort of resolution that Robert Smith has to accept about being kind of resigned to a perpetual state of this melancholy. And it's just perfect. You know, it's 3/4 of Disintegration, in my opinion, is just, there's nothing they could have done to make those songs better. Of 12 tracks, 9 of those tracks are perfect. You know, it's like you'll hear me talk about Disintegration track for track, and I end up repeating myself about, oh, this is a perfect 10, this is perfect. That's why. You know, 12 tracks, 9 perfect, 3 damn near perfect. You know, one of the greatest albums ever. And yeah, I remember watching an episode of South Park, and they said, dude, Disintegration is the best album ever made. And then the other kids say, no, Disintegration is the only album ever made. I always thought that was funny. Anyway, Robert Smith, The Cure, Disintegration, 1989. I would have to give this album a 9.75 out of 10. There you have it. Stay tuned for more. Peace.